But yeah, after a brief break, we should have returned by now. Is it going to give me the ad?
Always gives
No
the ad.
ad. Yeah, we're good.
Nice.
Welcome, everyone, to what is most certainly not a speedrun game. It's Overwatch, the massively successful, popular Team Fortress 2 clone that everyone, including speedrunners, seems to love. So, Darkman set up a tournament for speedrunners.
Yeah. So kind of organized this a while back. Managed to get about 30 people into this, and now we're down to the final two teams. Um, it's been fun. It's been kind of cool. These aren't actually organized teams. So what we did for this tournament is, of course, naturally, there's such a big spread in skill between everybody. So rather than get six people together to form their own team, we thought, hey, why not mix it up and let's do kind of randomized teams, but not just randomized teams where we just let the random number generator play for everything. But we also did basically people put in what their skill level is, and then I sorted the teams based on that. So it's kind of an interesting take on the random teams, but yeah, it should be a very fun match.
Yeah, actually, the teams have had not too many games, but a couple to kind of come together a little bit to find the roles they want to fill, and you're starting to see a change in the teams over the very short period of time that they've been together. Sort of an increase in coordination. It's pretty neat to see. It looks like the players have become aware that the stream is live.
Typical. What else would you expect speedrunners to do? So yeah, if you don't mind taking a second to kind of describe Overwatch a little bit. I know you kind of went into it, but maybe we can kind of introduce into the subtleties of what they'll be expecting in these matchups.
Yeah, I kind of dismissively called it a Team Fortress 2 clone, but I never actually played Team Fortress 2, and I love Overwatch. But yeah, it's a team-based shooter, heavily objective-based. Players seem to only really like the payload maps. Those ones are more, they're more competitively balanced, I guess. The defending team actually has a chance in that one, and they're not so quite as hectic as the control point maps. So you're probably going to be seeing, but you are going to be seeing those two payload maps up first. And for payload, you're basically just trying to escort the payload from one end of the map to the other. You have to be near it in order to get it to push, and there are checkpoints along the way. Every checkpoint you hit is going to change the spawn locations of the two teams so that you kind of make progress down the map. There's a wide array of heroes. I think there's 26, 20, 22, 20 something.
22.
22. And they're sort of sorted. Some are more offensive, some are more defensive, some are supportive, and some are tanks. And generally, you pretty much always want to have a nice mix of all of them. Some of them are a little better than others, but we've seen pretty much every hero played so far. We're not at the tippy top tier level of gameplay. And if you're interested, actually, there is a pro level of Overwatch emerging. But we're not there yet, so pretty much every hero is going to be viable, and it should be fun to see.
Sure. So I guess we can take a minute or two to describe some of the players you'll be seeing here. Maybe some of you guys recognize some names, maybe you don't. I guess I'll take it off some of the few names that I'll go off with, starting with Team 1. So they are actually, believe it or not, they are actually Team 1 in the bracket. So starting off, we have Mr. Carter, big speedrunner back in the day, but now he's just basically a big anime fan. I don't know, we'll just leave it at that. Good guy. Typically plays a lot of offensive characters in Overwatch. Pretty skilled player, I must say. Next, we have Minion, former great Super Mario World player. Now he just, I don't know, plays Overwatch. But he's been playing a lot of Zarya in this tournament. Zarya, of course, is a tank. Pretty cool tank that uses shields. So I'm seeing a lot of good action from him. Up next, we have Carulius. He is, of course, a flex kind of player. He plays a lot of different classes in Overwatch. You can see anywhere you might see a support from him. You might see a tank. Who knows? You never know what to expect with this guy, but definitely very good at the game. We have Boney, who of course organizes the mystery tournament, as many of you know. Definitely lots to play a lot of Junkrat and Diva, so we kind of expect one of those from him. We have Grigor. Not too familiar with him, but I know he's been quite capable throughout this tournament. He's been playing a little bit of Lucio throughout the tournament. Also, we have Zabaz, who's been, I would say, one of the strongest players in this tournament so far. He's very deadly with his McCree and his Widowmaker. Widowmaker, of course, is a sniper character, and McCree is a long-range offensive character. So if you're going to keep an eye on one player, that might be your guy right there.
Yeah, as the guy in control of the camera, I'm probably going to, whenever I'm not sure what to do, I'm going to hit F6, and we're going to see what Zabaz is up to. On Team 2, we got Gino, and I believe that is short for Genocidal, who is a...
Actually, Genosaurus.
Genosaurus. That's a different Gino. I don't know what to tell you about this Gino.
Too many Genos.
He's one of many, is what I have to tell you about Gino. I'll apologize. Maybe he's listening, and maybe he can pop up in the chat or something. I play this, you idiot. We also have Jorf, who is... been one of the, up there with Zabaz in the tournament, been the playmaker many a time already throughout this tournament. Jorf is also a really, really good speedrunner. He's got top times in Kid Icarus and Ninja Gaiden 2, as well as a whole bunch of other games that are a little lesser known, stuff like Banana Prince, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. But yeah, an old school NES player mostly. After that is Thunderleg, better known as Andy, even better known as And4H. Him and along with Jorf actually are really strong blind speedrunners. Andy, the winner of the past 2 mystery tournaments. He's going for the 3-peat. And he also speedruns Bubble Bobble, and he's picked up A Link to the Past. Hag Spam is a completely blanking, but I will tell you that if you've been a long fan of the channel, you may have recognized Hag Spam from Speed Gaming League, sort of what spawned the channel, a sort of speedrunning league, I guess is the simple way to. But yeah, an interesting format where you have a limited amount of time to learn to speedrun a game. Hag Spam did pretty well for himself there, and he does various Mega Man games, particularly focused on ROM hacks, I think.
Yep.
There's a lot of good Mega Man ROM hacks that have found a legitimate community among speedrunners. After that, we got Demoli, who I believe has the #1 time in Psychonauts.
That's correct.
Among other things. And Sabby's got kind of a mixed bag. Some Zelda and some pretty good times in Paper Mario and also Splatoon.
All right, so yeah, that's kind of the introduction of the players. So this is a best-of-5 format. It's kind of a unique. So how this format works is basically both teams have a chance to attack. And if you attack successfully, you get a point. If you don't, you don't. But that doesn't mean that the other team gets a point because they successfully defended or anything like that. No, it simply means you can only get a point if you attack. So both teams have a chance to attack on each map, and so it could go the distance of 3 maps. If it is tied after 2 maps, we will go to a control point to decide who is the winner. And Team 2, who is also known as Team 5 in the bracket, they are coming from winners, so they have the advantage. If they win this series, they take it. However, if Team 1 is able to win, they will reset the bracket, and we start all over, another best-of-5. So should be really exciting.
I think we're ready to go.
I think so. Let's make sure the players are ready.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. And while they let us know if they're ready or not, we can talk a little bit about this first map, Route 66. If you play Overwatch, you've probably seen your team set up on this very first bend. I know I'm talking about things you can't see right now, but we'll get into the game shortly. But really, this garage here that you're looking at, this gas station, Big Earl's, is where all the pro players set up. It's a sort of 360 degrees high ground position. Is it going to let me out? Yeah, it's going to let me out of this room. Sometimes I get locked into the room with the commentator view.
That's weird.
But yeah, basically, if you play Overwatch, you jump into quick player or low tiers of competitive, you probably see your team set up here, maybe up on this bridge, and Reinhardt's down here. But really, if you die here, you're not going to really get back in time in order to defend this checkpoint very well. You only kind of get one shot at it, so if you only got one, you should set up here on the high ground, Big Earl's garage here. You can retreat when you need to, and you get line of sight on pretty much everyone all the way around the corner. We've seen players in this tournament sort of set up here and then aren't really sure how to play from there, actually. We've seen them jump down to try to pick up a killer or get a health pack or whatever, and then suddenly everyone is out of position and it kind of falls apart. So maybe they'll just go with what they're comfortable with. We'll see.
So kind of talking about setups, so for Team Red, interesting choice, Thunderleg, we'll just call Andy from now on, going with the Ana, who is the newest support character introduced into Overwatch. She just came out like a month ago. Very interesting, sniper support character, so she can actually heal and damage with her sniper rifle. It's a very interesting pick. She's been playing a lot of different heroes with Ana, so we'll see what goes on here. And of course, minions on the Zarya on the attack team, Team 1, very standard pick. Carter on the 76, very good offensive character. Kind of Call of Duty-like character, you could say, but still has kind of subtle differences to it.
Yeah, there's sadly no left click, right click to automatically shoot people in the head. But he does shift to run. He does mostly just shoot people, and he can also heal himself a little bit. As you can see, the action's kicked off here. Hag Spam has been playing D.Va pretty much all tournament, and he likes to play a really aggressive flanking D.Va, but he's also pretty smart about getting out when he needs to, because you throw your life away, you're not really accomplishing too much.
So yeah, no kills yet, but that's kind of standard in this map, just kind of playing territory advantage right now, who can kind of get that advantage.
I don't know how much Ana that Andy plays. I know he usually sticks to supports though, so the fundamentals of healing your team are there for him for sure. Red team coming up with a lot of kills. Kill feed is all Jorf pretty much.
Jorf is just going in, he doesn't care. So yeah, significant advantage for Team Red. It's going to be hard for Team Blue. See, as you can see on your top screen, there's little white markers. Those are checkpoints that the payload reaches. And once they get that, they get a new spawn point. So it'll be hard for them to contest it. But it looks like Blue Team's going to try.
Yeah, I don't know if this is advised. If they were to have fallen back, they could have set up nicely. But now they're all going to die here. And that means they're going to have to scramble to set up at the next checkpoint.
Looks like they're paying for that as well. So now the advantage is going to be on the red team because the blue team is pretty much all dead. So they're able to push this point like the first half without any contest. So.
Yeah, you've got this building up here, but the walls actually prevent you from making good use of that high ground. So you kind of tend to want to set up around this back perimeter here, if you can.
Very important pick by Zabaz, who was able to get Jorf before they were able to set up again, which is great. So that's a huge offensive threat for the red team.
Yeah, in addition to just kind of threats in the game, like this person's got their ult, they're a threat. Just players and their performance in the tournament so far has tipped some people off. But people like Jorf are a threat almost regardless of the situation. Graviton Surge here coming out, catching what is that, 4?
Oh,
Ceruleus is cleaning up with the hammer.
Well done. So that Graviton Surge is the ultimate of Zarya, and it sucks everybody in there. They can't do anything about that. And it's typically an ability you combine with other ultimate abilities, like a Genji kind of ultimate, or maybe like, let's see who they got on the team, like a Carter 76, or maybe like Boney's Tire. Like those are kind of the abilities that are just going to kill everybody in that Graviton.
Savvy just flying in there as Reinhardt, and is that a boosted Lucio I see?
That's a boosted Lucio. I'm gonna chalk that up to just missed, because you have to actually aim Ana's ultimate, and you just probably missed them, unfortunately.
Ceruleus caught Jorf with his charge, but couldn't find a wall to pin him against. Jorf ended up running free, comes back to pick up the kill with only 21 health.
Having your Reinhardt dead's a very big deal, because Reinhardt's able to put up that shield and kind of stall people while your team kind of gets some damage in there. Reinhardt's a very important character in general, especially on payload maps. So Blue Team will kind of have to hang up without the Reinhardt for a few seconds.
Yeah, one of the things about Reinhardt's shield is he's not very mobile while he has it up, but if he's just riding that payload, it can be really hard to deal with. You know, we got Jorf here coming in with the tack visor.
So yeah, very cool thing about the 76 tack visor, it is an auto aim, so they do not have to aim. It instantly hits whatever target they want, and they reload faster too. So
got Hag Spam sending in the old Diva Bomb. Doesn't hit anyone. It used to be pretty harmless, and then they buffed both the time it takes to blow up went down from 4 seconds to 3, and also she can't kill herself with it anymore. Pretty well, I don't know. That Deadeye was fired a little bit too early, and instead of picking up 2 to 3 kills, it gets no one. Though he does soften them all up.
So yeah, defensive team, the blue team's able to kind of hold this for now, but they're unfortunately a couple deaths by Hag Spam and the Diva, and they're gonna have to retreat now.
Yeah, the devault, getting back to that, is suddenly changed Diva entirely. She used to be very niche pick, but all of a sudden she's become a mainstay thanks to some of these changes. And we've seen Hag Spam do some pretty good work with the Diva Bomb in the tournament so far.
So yeah, it looks like they're picking up the second checkpoint. This is probably the hardest point to take on this map. Very close to the defender spawn point. A lot of chokey. You can see it's a very enclosed type of setting here. So maybe some of those long-range characters that were very effective may not be so much anymore.
Yeah, it looks like Andy just used his ultimate on Anna, so we'll see if maybe he switches here. Being able to switch heroes on the fly is a big part of Overwatch.
Yes. So there is no restrictions on when you can switch. There is a restriction on limits. You can only have 1 hero per team, 1 of each hero. So that's kind of a limit that's been enforced by Blizzard recently. So pretty much every tournament does that now.
Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans where certain pairings of like 2 Winstons was just kind of too much. And players were just kind of saying, you know what, the game would probably be more fun and more interesting if we could only do 1 of each. Looks like Blizzard agrees.
So yeah, Red Team's just been picking everybody non-stop, and they're just right at the payload now, so it's going to be tough for Blue to come back from this, but they can.
Yeah, the ultimates in this game lend themselves very well to big swings, but Red Team is shutting down everyone on this last point. A great push from them.
Absolutely, so that's 1 point for them. Let's see if Team 1 can kind of come back from this.
Play of the game.
And of course, the play of the game. Even if you don't play Overwatch, you've probably seen the play of the game memes. Pretty good stuff. Wow, charge interrupted by the other Reinhardt, but he sets up this Graviton Surge and then swings the hammer through all of them. Basically, Reinhardt's hammer just hits whatever is there in front of him. So if 5 people are all there, the hammer's going to hit them all.
Yep, AoE damage, 75 a hit. It's very strong, especially when it's in the middle of a Graviton Surge. And look at that, Jorf. 73% kill participation. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It's pretty monstrous. Jorf, I play with Jorf a lot. Both Jorf and Andy, when I play Overwatch, I usually try to piggyback off of them. But Jorf in particular, there's a site where you can look up your skill that is with a little more clarity than the number that Blizzard gives you. The one that Blizzard gives you. Like if you're a 60, you're actually pretty good. And there's a huge difference between like 55 and 60 compared to 60 and 65, right? So Jorf was playing on his own and getting up to like 67, 68, and it turns out he's top of like 5 percentile or something overall.
Yes.
So yeah, he's good. He's focusing mostly on Soldier here, but he can also do some pretty amazing things on Pharah as well.
And let's put that into perspective. Top 5%. There were 15 million players of this game, so it's pretty good.
I'm back in the fight.
So Team 1's got to regroup from this. So Team 1 now on the red side. They're, of course, the attackers. Looks like Minion's switching to the Roadhog now. I kind of seen him switching back and forth between the Zarya and the Roadhog. Roadhog is a very cool pick. He has his hook, which allows him to, if any of you guys play Dota 2, you're kind of familiar with Pudge, same concept. Hook people right up to you and then just like own them in their face. So And it looks like Zavaz is going to be the offensive Widowmaker. So Widowmaker is the sniper of this game. It's kind of been nerfed recently, so it hasn't been played as much, but still a very deadly character. You get one headshot in, that's taking down pretty much every non-tank out there, so it could be a game changer for the red team.
Yeah, she used to be able to pick up pretty decent kills just with body shots, and it led to Widowmaker kind of dominating the meta. And it was basically whose Widow beats whose Widow will determine who wins the push. And that one little change has meant that you have to be quite good in order to make Widowmaker worth it. And Zabaz is quite good, so we'll see what he manages to get done. He's playing kind of sneaky here, but he gets caught out by Hag Spam on his Diva. Has to run away. That's what that grappling hook is for.
Hag Spam is playing the flanking Diva right now. It's a very interesting pick. He's really behind enemy lines.
Gets the kill on Minion, but he's probably not too long to this world. Widowmaker not great in close range. I mean, that assault rifle is way better than you'd think a sniper could do at this range. But
still alive though.
Yeah, but Diva's pistol also pretty good, but also not fantastic. So both players kind of unable to hit each other there. Hag Spam gets his ult, gets his mech back.
Now I'll show them.
So far, it's all blue team right now. I was kind of impressed that Hag Spam actually managed to survive there. So when Diva's out of her mech, she only has like 150 health. Very squishy. Very easy to kill her, so... And of course, he has his ult pulled up. Able to take out the Lucio. It's a very big deal. Your supports are very key in pushes between their ults and their healing abilities. So you take out one support, that's a huge game changer.
Yeah, Lucio has an AoE healing ability. It doesn't heal too fast, but when he pumps it up, he actually does start healing pretty fast. And just being around, Lucio will heal thousands of damage for his team. Looks like Ceruleus gonna take a trip off the edge of the cliff there. It's always tricky playing Reinhardt whenever there's a cliff. Ooh, Zubaz getting a huge pick on Jorf.
Excellent. That's big. So now they're probably gonna be able to push it a little bit with Jorf down.
Gets the headshot on Andy, forcing him to use his ultimate. Probably not when he wants to.
Ooh, but Sabby comes in on his Reinhardt with the charge. Now they have the Lucio ult. Lucio ult gives them extra health for like 5 seconds, so very important there. And Jorf is right back in the game, doing his thing.
Yeah, that was looking pretty good for the red team to mount a serious offense here, but it looks like they were unable to capitalize. Defense is absolutely stabilizing here.
Nerf this.
Diva Bomb coming in. This is kind of unnecessary. I don't know if I agree with this. I would hold on to that and save it for a team fight rather than just trying to randomly get lucky there.
I mean, they're in good shape time-wise. There's no reason to like stall out or anything like that.
Yeah. Reinhardt's trading fire strikes with each other. Pretty common. Savvy's shield is just gone. Carter's on this Reaper. He's been doing a lot of work in some other games, and he's got the Death Blossom up, so if he can catch these guys unawares, he can really do some damage. He knows there's at least 2 over here. Here it comes.
Oh, doing work there. Excellent job.
Only one left is Hag Spam. He sees all these skulls on the map. He doesn't care. He's going to come in and try to contest this. And there's quite a bit of time before that payload hits that checkpoint, so they could maybe make something happen here.
I don't think so. They're going to be able to take it no problem. Better to get set up on this point, which looks like they're doing.
Yeah, I think this is the right call.
So, team, second checkpoint definitely in favor of the attackers. Not too strong of a area for the defending team to hold, so hopefully they'll be able to take this point.
Oh, Jorf is trying to save Reinhardt's life here. Tracer dropped the bomb on him and brought him down to single-digit health. And then tried to finish the job.
Unfortunately, Andy comes in with the ult, so Zenyatta's ult heals 300 health per second. Suffice to say, you're not going to be able to damage your way through that unless you can.
Yeah, you need something that does an entire health bar in one shot. Otherwise, you're not going to kill anyone. High noon. coming out from Zubaz, who has switched off of Widowmaker. This area is not quite as open. There are some pretty nice sniper spots, but it's really hard to get to safely. So I like the switch to McCree here.
It looks like Sebastian's going to try to flank a little bit on McCree. That's kind of the advantage of McCree. He can kind of get up on the side, and he can have those 1v1s. You're gonna favor Reaper almost every time in a 1v1 situation, or excuse me, McCree in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, he can get into some really interesting battles with Genji. Basically, Genji wants to... Oh, Tac Visor here coming out from Jorf in the back lines, and they don't quite see him, and even when they do, they can't really deal with him. Lucio a little too slow dropping the beat there. That needed to come out much sooner. He's probably better off not wasting his ult there and dying before it comes out. It's really is trying not to die, but no.
Yeah, even still, they managed to push it up quite a bit. They just have a minute and 15 seconds left. That's okay. That's plenty of time. As long as they get a few pickoffs, it's going to send the blue team going back. So they can still do this.
Gino on the Junkrat in the back. Junkrat is best, not really at killing people, but at just kind of denying space. Anyone who walks into Junkrat's grenades eats a big chunk of damage, and if you're close enough, he can throw a mine at you and finish you off really easily. So Junkrat is a very strong defensive hero who does well on these high grounds in the back here. Every time that those 4 lines appear on the cursor, on the diagonals, that's a hit for Junkrat, basically. He just hits someone for like 100 damage. And he's probably not going to hit them again anytime soon, but he softens them up for his team.
Alright, looks like blue team's holding them off. It's going to be a little bit rough for red to push this now. Carter's trying to flank with his Reaper on the outside. That's kind of what Reaper does. Very strong against tanks. He can do up to 300 damage a hit on tanks. He gets a good headshot.
One of the things is you want to fight as a group of 6, but sometimes you don't die as a group of 6. And then when you join the fight, you know, sometimes someone dies just as you get there, and you end up constantly fighting as 4 or 5, and the sort of trickling in can be absolutely devastating. Man, this Reinhardt Aurelius is trying desperately to make something happen. It's not going to happen. Unable to kind of fight as a group there, partially by you know, miscommunication or whatever, but also partially just by circumstances. Zibaz, as McCree, was stuck in the gas station, unable to move because all 6 of the enemy team were outside. So he's just kind of stuck in there waiting for his team to respawn before they find him, and they do find him. So now he's out, and you're unable to mount an offense as 6, and that hurt them real big there at the end. We got a Lucio play as the game here. Pumping it up, healing everyone. Sound barrier? Not even. Alright, maybe the least exciting play of the game I've ever seen, but there it goes.
It works.
Congratulations to Molly. Jorf again has been getting... I can't tell if it's sincere or like kind of ironic, but Jorf has been getting pretty much all of the commendations whenever his card appears at the end of a match. It seems to appear pretty often with the way he's playing.
So Team 2, also known as Team 5, is up 1-0. So we are moving on to the second map. It's Hollywood. So let's see if Team 1 can kind of come through and take a point, because that's definitely what they need at this point.
Yeah, if Team 1 is unable to win a point here, it's all in Team 2's or Team 5. I don't know what we want to call them. Team Jorf, I guess we could call them if we wanted to throw some people under the bus. Yeah, huge advantage for them going into this second map. See which team wants to attack first. Hollywood's an interesting map. You start out on the city streets, and then you end up in a movie set for a Western, and you end up in a sci-fi setting. But in terms of its map as a map in a shooting game, there's a lot of interesting verticality, I think, to this map. A lot of high ground that is really hard to reach, especially in the second point, and offers a big advantage for anyone who gets up there. And the first point, there's this choke point archway, but if you can get through there, there's a lot of varied attack paths to siege this first point.
All right, I guess we're ready to go. Make sure these guys are ready to go, and then we'll start the map. All right, so one of the unique things about Hollywood, I'm sorry, wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if you mentioned it, Myth, but this is a hybrid map, so it's not just the payload map. You have to capture a point first, and then do you get the payload, and you have to escort the rest of the objective.
Yeah, there's well, I guess there's 3 different kinds of maps, and then there's also this hybrid map for a total of 4 variations. The King of the Hill style control maps tend to be really hectic, and favor kind of randomness. Really, the weaker team has a better chance on a control point map than a payload map, and no one seems to like the assault maps where you're just trying to take a control point and then move on to the next one. We're seeing pretty much only payload and its hybrid variation here.
Yeah. The double capture
with the waving here.
The double capture points are they're kind of a snowball effect. You take 1 point and you could very well just capture the second point in a matter of 30 seconds, or you could spend 10 minutes trying to capture it to no avail. It's just sometimes it can just be really ugly on those maps. So that's definitely a lot of the cases why people tend to steer clear from those maps. So.
This is my kind of city. Lights, camera, action.
It looks like so Team 1's going to be on defense this time first. Looks like Zabaz's going to try the Widowmaker again. You definitely kind of get those early picks like Myth was saying, so we'll see if that pays off for them.
Widowmaker's also capable of doing this really, really neat jump shot. Also able to get into position right away here. You can catch some people off guard. But you can see him scoping in the air. He's going for some of these, they're kind of trick shots, but honestly, you can get yourself into angles that you can never get otherwise. Simply by, you grapple onto this tree to the right of Zubaz here. I want to call him Zubaz.
Call him Zubat.
Zubat. Golbat. I evolved a Golbat. Anyway. Yeah, but you can propel yourself up over this this little archway here that he's looking through, and you can actually get a shot from the air on pretty much anyone on the other side of that wall. It's super hard to do, but it's actually worth doing if you've got no other use for your grappling hook. Pretty advanced technique, though. Not surprised to see Zabaz trying to throw that out. We got 2 down for the defense here, so things are looking pretty good. This is definitely the time to go. You got to make use of this. Coming in from the stairs here. It's Boney and Ceruleus on the Zarya. He's weak, but he's got the kills he needs to.
Zabaz doing work on the Widowmaker. Yeah, team's definitely able to move in and capture the point. I don't expect Baloo to contest this. Yeah, it looks like they're going back set up for the payload. A very strong first attack by the red team. It can definitely be, the first point can definitely be one of those points where you spend a long time or just get full out, just stop there. So good to see them take it very quickly.
Yeah, bodes well for the rest of this map to be a little more even. We got Zarya here is the only one with her ult, but now Boney has his, so if they wanted to, they could combo this and pretty much wipe out that clustered defense over there. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit. Look at all this high ground on this map, all these pathways up here. You have to ride one of these elevators to get up there, but once you do, it is an amazing advantage that neither team is taking advantage of. We saw the Graviton Surge come out there and followed up by the Diva Bomb, not quite working together there.
Yeah, very interesting that nobody's really using the high ground. We see Carter is coming down as a Reaper, finally kind of taking use of that. Reaper, Genji, characters like that, huge advantage to take the high ground.
Also, here we go. Zabaz has got the high ground on this Widowmaker. This is scary if no one can get up there to knock him off this point. And he is going to retreat, though, because he is kind of alone here. Instead, he's going to try to use this infrared sight to pick someone coming around the corner. But there's just too many targets. and no backup, not where Widowmaker wants to be. If he was able to kind of hide up there, he could pop out with the rest of his team and do some real work, I think.
So
Or maybe he just
Widowmaker's
wants to switch to
ultimate.
McCree.
That's not a bad pick. McCree can do the same thing as Widow can up on those rooftops. He's got a little bit more mobility too.
Yeah, for whatever reason he has to drop down. McCree can still handle himself quite well. Defense is getting pushed all the way around the corner here. They're getting kind of divided in two.
Ooh, but Andy was able to get a nice kill on Zabaz after he got a kill on Dwarf, so it's even on both sides.
Graviton Surge comes out, catches one, and eventually catches two more. Hammered down from the red team, sort of fighting off the rest of the... Oh, the tire comes in, but the Tranquility is going to deny it.
Very nice ult
Diva
by
bomb.
Minion there, saving. And Kay was just absorbing the ult, so you can see what Zarya's shield does. He puts the shield on, absorbs the ult, and he gets charged because of it. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, he's up against 4 people or whatever, but Zarya at 100% charge is really scary. She's a tank, so she's already got lots of health and stickiness, basically, but not a lot of damage until she gets that charge going, and then when you combine high damage with high durability, you get a real monster. So if he had, you know, one other person there, he probably could have made a really big difference off of that charge.
So if I keep an eye on Carter, he's flanking again as Reaper, typically what Reapers do. But it looks like the Tech Visor is going to keep him honest.
Finds a Lucio. Unable to kind of close things out there, and then the healing orb from Zenyatta is going to keep him topped up. And they don't chase. Mr. Carter really low here, able to pop out and do some more damage. I expect he's not long for this world, though. They're not going to have it. No, that's still not on him. Free to get all these pot shots in here. There we go. Jorf, tired of this, comes in and cleans him up.
Payload stop. Let's get it moving.
So yeah, it looks like Blue's having a very good defense. Again, a really hard point for the defense to hold, so they're doing a fantastic job. Still though, 2.5 minutes, plenty of time to get it to the next checkpoint.
Yeah, they took that first point so convincingly, they bought themselves tons of time here. But I mean, 2.5 minutes can turn into 30 seconds. I was going to say pretty fast, but it's actually in exactly 2 minutes. It'll feel pretty fast if you can't rally up and get a solid push or two. It looks like they'll be able to at least try as a group of 6 here and really make something of it. They'll be able to do this once more after this, maybe twice if they need to.
So looks like Minion is switching the Pharah. Unfortunately, got blasted by the Diva, but gonna see if maybe that makes the difference for the Lens team. Pharah, of course, a rocket specialist. You may remember the soldier from Team Fortress 2, kind of similar.
Yeah, except she doesn't need any help to rocket jump. She just hits left shift and flies into the air. She can also hit spacebar to hover there as well. So, really pesky character if you don't have a solid hit scan weapon to use against her while she's flying around in the air. A lot of fighting breaking out, but none of it going the attacking team's way here.
Not particularly in bad shape. Looks like they're trying to make some work. Looks like Savvy's a little bit low, but he was able to kind of weather the storm.
Yeah, they actually held out long enough for reinforcements to show up, so this attack continues.
All systems checked out.
Sabby is just going in on this Diva.
Carter got a few kills though with his ult, so let's see if that makes a difference.
Here comes Minion on the Pharah, 70% charge. Pharah's barrage is one of those team kills just waiting to happen sort of ultimates.
Yeah. Pharah's typically not a stealthy character, but when you want an ult on Pharah, you want to try to distract the enemy so you can kind of sneak up behind them and grab a big ult off of Pharah.
Yeah, you are completely helpless while using the barrage. You cannot move at all. So even characters who really aren't known for damage, like even Mercy or something, can actually do quite a bit of damage to you when she knows you're not going to move. They can just fire the blaster at you. So if they know where you are, you're going to melt before you do anything with those rockets. You do absolutely need to be a little stealthy. Team Red's running out of time here. They lose one of their tanks, so it's looking like this is pretty much over here. Hammer down, gonna close it out here. Lucio ult active, tac visor going, just going way over the top here. And after that really strong push at the beginning, they just got completely stonewalled in that second section of Hollywood here. We got a Zenyatta play of the game. And it looks like it's going to be him just throwing tennis balls at Sabi here. Just giving it to him.
So that's actually going to do it. So that is going to make Team 5, also known as the Defenders on the side, they're the winners because they won the first map and now they can't lose at this point. So congratulations to Team 5 taking it down.
Yeah, the teams were decided somewhat randomly, but self-evaluation was part of the process.
Yes.
And honestly, I feel like the speedrun crowd will attract some. I mean, I'm getting kind of philosophical here, but when you're speedrunning, you're kind of more competing against yourself than other people. So there's a lot of self-evaluation going on there, and I find you tend to get people who are a little more modest. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people kind of undervalued themselves and started outperforming basically the number they were given. But nonetheless, congratulations to Team 5 TM, not Team 4. There is no Team 4, by the way. It's 1, 2, 3, 5. Team 5 is going to take it with a pretty convincing win on Hollywood.
Yep. Real quick, I'm going to check and see if anybody wants to interview for the winning team, so if you give us a second.
Sure. Oh, there are speedrun entries for Overwatch on speedrun.com. I need to check this out. Pardon my keyboard clicking. I'm guessing this is the tutorial.
All right. Looks like we got a volunteer. So we have Jorf on the winning side. Congratulations, Jorf. How does it feel?
Yo, what's up? Thanks. Feels good.
Nice. So, I mean, what do you think? How do you think it went?
I think it went well. I was just doing my job, shooting guys.
Yeah. I mean, you were pretty devastating on that 76 the entire finals. Did you feel just really comfortable on the 76, or did you thought maybe it countered their team well? What was kind of your philosophy in picking the soldier?
Yeah, 76 is probably my best character. I didn't want to play Pharah because I think I probably get shot out of the sky too easily.
Yeah, gotta watch out for Zabaz, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, obviously, you weren't the only member on your team. It definitely seemed like you had a strong team throughout. What was kind of like the discussion going into it? Because obviously, as we explained to the crowd, this is a randomized team. Nobody really, of course, we may know each other, but may have not really played much with each other beforehand. So what was kind of the discussion figuring out who was going to play what?
I don't know. We just tried something in the first round and it worked, and we just went with it for the rest of the tournament.
Awesome, awesome. So I mean,
don't fix it.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. So obviously, a lot of clutch plays by yourself, but who would you say on your team was the best in your opinion? You can say yourself. You can say somebody else. Whatever you want.
No, you can't say yourself. You can
right,
say
yourself.
yourself, but he's not going to say himself.
Of course not.
All right, I'm gonna give it to my friend Andy, giving those sad balls to everybody. Really helps out.
Absolutely. So Zenyatta, of course, can give Discord orbs, and people take 50% more damage as a result. So very powerful thing to use. So I don't know. What do you think? Maybe in the future you got some competitive play in you, kind of play some Overwatch tourneys, or is it just kind of just doing this for fun?
Mostly for fun.
Cool.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, of course. Any questions for the Victor Myth?
How do you get so good? I can't do it. No, I mostly just it's weird because I play with Jorf all the time, so part of me is just like, hey, yeah, good game. You did good today.
Oh yeah, I guess final question I had: what was the philosophy on the map choices? Because we didn't explain it to the crowd, but basically the teams were able to ban maps until they picked the 2 maps they wanted to play. So, any particular strategy for picking the 2 Route 66 in Hollywood, or is just whatever?
Yeah, those were the only 2 we played. And once we played them, we were kind of already comfortable on them, so we just picked them again.
That makes sense. All right, well, I guess that wraps it up for us. Congratulations once again, Jorf. You guys played really well, and
Yeah.
enjoy
Thanks for
your
setting us up.
celebration. Enjoy the no problem. Enjoy the big bucks you get for winning, which is a whole fat 0.
Woohoo!
You get this interview. This is everything.
That's right. All right, take it easy, Jorf.
See ya.
All right. Yeah, excellent. Another fantastic interview from Jorf. What else would you expect from the man of many words?
But so much charisma packed into those words.
That's right. But yeah, so any final thoughts, Mythical?
This was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you need a whole team of 6 people just to make one team. So you need a lot of people in order to make a tournament, kind of substantial. We had 4 teams this time, but I could see. I mean, I wasn't the one who organized it, so I don't want to just throw it on you to do it again. But I think it'd be really cool if we could have Overwatch tournaments semi-regularly.
Sure, yeah. I could see myself organizing another one. I definitely could do a few more changes because, unfortunately, I actually announced this tournament before competitive mode was even released. So I didn't really have a chance to, kind of use like your skill rating as a factor. So now that we kind of have that and people have kind of played it a lot, I can kind of gauge now a lot better who's like who, because judging by the skill numbers people submitted and their actual ratings and how they played, I would say at least half the people were definitely off on their rating, which is fine. I mean, again, it's hard to rate yourself. I get that. So I can't say I'm that surprised, but I didn't expect that level of disparity, I guess I should say. So yeah, definitely we'll try to improve on it. But for the first one, I'd say it was a success. 4 teams, 24 people. That's a lot of people interested in Overwatch. So I'm sure hopefully next time we'll get a bigger and better tournament for sure.
Yeah, especially for a new game with 3D models on the PC. It's not really a home for most speedrunners, and especially some of the people we've attracted here are some really old school focused speedrunners. But yeah, we do actually like to play newer games, and so it's fun to kind of see some of these people in a different setting like this.
Yep. Yeah. I just want to thank, of course, everybody who signed up to play. It's fantastic seeing you all here. Saw some cool plays from everybody. Also want to thank my admin team, Knox, K, Carulius, and Boney. They helped me a lot with organizing this tournament, so thank you. Also, of course, Mythical for helping us stream this on Speed Gaming, and also for doing the commentary with me. So thank you very much, Myth.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
Yes, thank you. And also, of course, thanks to Feasel for making this happen. He was the one that came to me and told me, hey, you can do it on this stream. So appreciate, letting us use Speed Gaming for this tournament, even though it's not really Speedrun, but still, it's cool. So yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, I think that wrapped up for me.
All right. So we did do this a little earlier than originally planned. So I'm not sure if our the next content for the channel is all lined up and ready to go. I'm guessing it's not. But later on this channel, we will have Metroid Prime. That tournament has a Metroid Prime tournament has started as of about 6 days ago. So it's still the early stages. You're probably going to see some new people if you've been watching so far. And Metroid Prime is a really, really great speed game. Has a lot of history. For a lot of old school speedrunners, it was probably one of the first things they saw when they got into it. There's a lot that goes into a Metroid Prime run. So it's been great to see. I hope you guys stick around for some of that later. Though maybe there's going to be a couple hours gap here, so maybe don't stick around. Maybe do something else for a couple hours, do dinner, and check in on your favorite speedrunner, and then come back. for more Metroid Prime. And until then, we'll see you.
See ya.